Play stores. For additional information, visit our website at cemc.org and click on My Account. Cumberland Electric Membership Corporation, proudly serving our members since 1938.
This is the day the Lord hath made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Listening to great gospel music on WSGI AM 1100, Springfield's God Informer.
One street over there's a life I could have known, one beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that road could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today.
All right, let's get into it, y'all. This is 1100 WSG. I'm U-Turn LaVern, and yeah, this is one street over. What's going on one street over from where you living? It's still lost over, y'all. Hey, guys, again, I'm U-Turn LaVern. This is an opportunity for us just to kind of, make the rounds and see what's going on around town while we are still iced in. A lot of you can't even get out of your neighborhoods, and honestly, you don't need to try. It was so funny because whenever we first started having the conversations about what we were going to do about, doing the radio show this week, Ilyu told me, he says, if all you's got that is that little car, you're not going to get in here. And I've got a little Camry. And that was a conversation my husband and I had this morning, is if that was all that I had to drive, I think it's a front wheel drive, so it might do it. And I could drive in the tracks, but it would be a really tough haul on some of the hills coming out of my neighborhood. Now, once you get up to Highway 49, Highway 41, different, 431, and that's Whites Creek Pike, Fifth Avenue, Dickerson Road, Memorial Boulevard, those roads, they're relatively clear, but I'm still hearing that 76 going up to White House is pretty treacherous in spots. Some of the main roads still we were coming in, we had to go into Nashville yesterday. And we were actually coming down 41. Again, 41 that runs through town. Memorial is Dickerson Road, goes all the way into Nashville. And we were traveling 41, and there were patches that were still just one lane that you could travel in. And it was pretty treacherous at times in a few spots, but for the most part, it was fine. The interstates were fine. And when you get into Nashville, it's bizarre because all they got was ice. They got maybe a little bit of a dusting kind of thing, but for the most part, it was just absolutely covered up with ice. And they got so much more ice, I think, than we did. I don't know what the measurements are. The weatherman would have to tell you that, but It's just here in this area in Robertson County, we were blessed that we did not get that coating device, but we got so much more snow. And it's so funny. Mark has joined me here. We've got some phone calls we're going to make. We're going to talk to Gwen Harder with the VSO office, Veteran Service Office, just to check on what they have going on. And we're going to check in with Brian Pulley with United Way. We've done a lot of our conversations via phone because people just can't get out. They can't get out of the roads. And those are two that they live off the beaten path, and it's just a lot easier just to get them on the phone. But what we were talking about what? I need to turn your mic on. Good point, honey. But Mark is here with me, and so just looking at what they had in Nashville with the ice and things like that, there's about 90,000 still without power NES customers. Some of them are very close friends of ours. And I was looking at our, Ginger's address, and I was like, oh, bless, honey, you're liable to be out of power for a couple of weeks. And she finally went over to a cousin's house and is staying over there. And because, the stinking hotel bills are outrageous. Yeah. But, she had, and then you have to think about, okay, my house doesn't have any heat, so will my pipes freeze? And so that's one thing. If you're, if you're not able to be in your house, make sure those, faucets are dripping. Because
especially the ones that are, outside walls and stuff.
And we're hitting big low temps again this weekend. We had Bill Jones in here yesterday talking about the different things that we're expecting. And Robco Weather, follow that guy. He is so fun. He put up something about the frost quakes yesterday, and I shared that on my page. But it's quite interesting, too. Oh, and I also had a chance to share something from Blake Pierce, our EMA director. And God bless him. I haven't met him face to face. So when we were talking on the phone, it was so weird because I didn't really know him yet. And what a great guy. And he's out there getting, his hands dirty like the rest of them. He's not, being the director, and he's out there getting busy. And he put up a video yesterday. So I shared that. And just all kinds of things that are going on. And we shared some road conditions when we went in last night, just to let you see the biggest challenge is getting out of your neighborhood.
Side roads, yeah.
Getting out of your neighborhood. And Lawrence Lane, as we were saying, usually because we live out past the wastewater plant. So usually ours is one of the first roads to get attention because of the public utility. But you said this Northern Authority on all things snow related said that because of the what my son out in Jackson called it was they're calling it the lasagna effect, because we've got a kid, one of our sons is in Jackson with his wife and child, and of course, being mama and papa, we're just like, how are the grandbabies, and so we're checking on them, and he said they called it the lasagna effect, and that's a really good description because that's what we had happen. We had that layer of snow, and then that coating of ice, and then more snow, and now they're saying we're going to get another dusting this weekend. Dusting. Even if it's just a dusting, even if it's just a quarter of an inch.
I want 2 or 3 feet.
No, you don't.
Yes.
You and I will lose our minds if we cannot get out and get something done. He's been down in my old studio that I did traffic out of for so many years is now his teaching office, where he is putting together curriculum and doing all the things he does. He's so much more organized than me. He makes me look so bad as a teacher. He's so much more organized than me. But for me, I have things to get ready for Renaissance Rally. Yes, Miss Grimes, I have not forgotten. We're going to have Renaissance Rally, our big rally coming up just in a couple of weeks, as soon as we get back. And so much that we have to get done. It's nice to have the downtime. And snow days, there's really, unless you're one of those precious first responders and people that just have to be out in this stuff, for the most of us, there's really no expectations. Nobody would think about it if I was like, I'm not going to do radio. I can't get on my road. But it gives me, I got to have purpose to hit the floor. I got to have something to go and do. And so.
And then she drags me along with it.
I got to have a driver,
I would rather just lay in bed and sleep.
I could take the expedition out and drive it myself if I had to. But anyway.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
No confidence in me, Mark Vivio. Well, anyway, but like I said, we've got people to call. We've got some conversations to have, and we may touch base with Lee Marie before it's over. And yes, Lee Marie, we found your keys. So I
think she can see that.
Well, if she can has a screen.
She's watching.
But anyway, So anyway, but this morning, first thing we're going to do is we're going to call Gwen Harder. She is with the Veteran Service Office, and I'm so impressed. Scott was planning on coming in yesterday, but he lives in Sumner County, and so I was stunned that he was even considering it. And I had already, scheduled to talk to White House City Mayor Mr. John Corbett, and we had also planned on talking with Bill Jones just about all the weather stuff, and Bill made it in. Of course, he just lives up the hill from here.
He was talking about walking here.
He was going to walk here. Bill, you should not be doing that. But anyway, Bill's like us. He's got to have something to do. He's got to have something to do. But anyway, so we're going to get to it. We do need to talk about the UPS store. Why don't we start though? Let's start with an ad, and then I'll kind of come back around and remind you too of their hours. But we talked with Tom Fox over at UPS yesterday, and I'd planned on getting in there because I've got some things that I have to get
by the end of the month. Yeah, they're going to be
I've got
back.
a couple of days to get some stuff back to Amazon, or we're going to be selling it on Marketplace. Because it's some kind of expensive items that need to go. But anyway, so they're going to be open regular hours today. So we'll kind of get into that a little bit more as we get a chance for more folks to get on. But UPS store will be open their regular hours beginning today, and that means they'll be opening the doors. Let me double check here. I think they opened at 8 o'clock this morning, if I'm not mistaken. Let me pull it up here just to be sure. But they have extended hours, and they have hours every single day of the week to accommodate everybody. Now, they open up late enough on Sunday so everybody can get to church. And but they do, let's say they open 8 to 6:30 are their regular operating hours, Monday through Friday. Saturday, they're open 9 to 5, and then Sunday, they're open noon to 5. So they've got hours for everybody, and we'll talk a little bit more about what they've got going on here in just a moment. But regular hours, I think Lee Marie said the library is going to try to open regular hours today, too. So a lot of businesses and things that have been doing a limited schedule, they're trying to kind of get back to normal today, because if you're on the main roads, like I said, you can pretty much function as normal, but if you're in some of these neighborhoods, it is still trying. So many of our friends haven't even gotten out yet, and they don't really need to.
No, they don't. Stay home.
Get stuck.
Southern drivers, stay home.
Well, no, don't say Southern drivers. He's so, anyway. But it's more about, can your vehicle handle it?
Yeah.
And two, if you have this hilly road, you got to remember, you can't go slow up a hill. You got to get a little momentum going down to get back up the hill. And then if you meet somebody coming over the hill that doesn't understand that, and they don't realize they're going to stop, it's like if somebody's on the hill coming up, do not proceed down the hill. Let them get up the hill.
Just wait on top of the hill.
Wait, exactly.
If they fishtail, they do anything, they're going to
hit you. And you got to let them use their momentum to get up those slick hills. I was reading on social media where this guy was putting, it was like Hip Gallatin, can somebody come help me? We're stuck on the hill. And everybody was saying, just back down the hill, get your momentum and get, because it was so, bless his heart. I mean, it was just,
But you got to have some tires on your vehicles too.
This is true. You can't just get in anything and head down the road. But let's see if we can't get Gwen on the phone, and we'll talk to our friend Gwen Harder about all things VSO. And, hang on just a second here. Let's see if I can dial the number in on our wonderful Google line. If you haven't figured out, y'all can have a independent line through Google for free. It is pretty cool. We use it at school now, and pretty awesome. We've been using it in radio for a while. I used it on the campaign trail when I was running for Congress. I had a Google line. Yeah, you didn't know that? All my secrets he doesn't know. Isn't that great?
I don't know any of them.
Gwen Harder, are you there?
I am.
Oh, Mark and I are sitting here chit-chatting, and I didn't realize you'd picked up the phone.
I hear, yeah.
Okay.
Talking about us Southern drivers.
Yes, she heard you say what you did about Southern drivers. I should have brought a splitter in here so I could have given him some headphones. I didn't think about it, but so he could hear.
Does Floridians count?
Do what?
Do Floridians count? We don't even chart, do we?
No, as a Southern, honey, that's right. You were in Florida, but
I'm a Florida girl, yeah.
But now Gwen is one of the folks, one of the officers, our veteran service officers here in Robertson County. I was so impressed. Did you tell Scott I was quite impressed with him that he was planning on coming in?
I did, and
yesterday.
I also told you you doubted a veteran.
Well, no, it wasn't that. It wasn't, that's a good point. And Gwen chastised me because I had scheduled something else yesterday, just assuming that there's no way that he could make it in. And she's like, he's a veteran. Of course he could make it in. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
He's going to be where he's supposed to be.
But, well, and one thing too, it's not even just that. It's just the priority when you have something like this is,
Right.
what do people need? But that is something in regards to Veteran Service Office. What do the veterans need? Are you getting calls? So I'm not going to keep you on for an hour like we normally do, but
Right.
I mean, as long as you want to talk and you have things to share, but we are going to call, we're going to give a call into Brian Pulley with United Way, because that's another one that they serve the area. What are they hearing from 211? So okay, let's start here. Are you guys open now? And what are
We
the
will be,
county
the
office
government buildings,
Yeah.
the county government buildings will be open at 10:30.
Okay.
We were able to get out yesterday. My brother took a ride, and we did a drive through the parking lot at the office. We sit on a hill, so
Yeah.
it would have been a little bit tough to get in and out of our parking lot. So the mayor made the call yesterday to be closed, but they had some equipment out there yesterday afternoon that they were clearing it with. So 10:30, we will be in the office today.
Okay.
And hopefully it'll be business as usual tomorrow. So
Okay. So, do you think all of you will be in there, or I mean, you're gonna? Are you going in?
I'm going to attempt.
I got you.
If I can get to Fluellen, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna. Being it's later in the morning, I'll attempt to go ahead and go in. And then tomorrow, with hopefully a little bit of warming today, it'll be a much better situation. But we'll be there today, 10:30 to 4:30. And then tomorrow, hopefully the regular 8 to 4:30. So.
Okay, yeah. When you mentioned warming, we are going up to 35 today, so that might help us a little bit. Yeah, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
So right now, we have got a couple of veterans that people have gotten in touch with us about. It's just crazy sometimes, the mentality of veterans that I don't need the help. I'm doing fine, but they're living in a neighbor's garage,
God bless, yeah.
So, we've got a gentleman that hopefully we'll be able to get to next week. He's been living in a neighbor's garage, and a guy called and said, "Look, if I can get him in there," I said, "Get him in here, and we'll talk to him and see what we can do for him."
Mm-hmm.
And my father's house has several veterans, I think, that are that they're helping out. We've got one specifically that we've bought some stuff for through the American Legion. So,
okay.
we can. I mean, we've got some resources, limited as they are. We do have some resources. So, come see us, and we'll assess your situation and see what we can do to help you, or we'll put you in touch with people that can. Yesterday we were going to have Operation Stand Down with us, two ladies that were going to come in and talk about that organization that specifically helps veterans. So we're gonna get some resources out there that people can get in touch with if they need help and they're a veteran. So
the Operation Stand Down, explain that for us.
That it's a group that puts veterans, if they need housing, if they need job assistance, finding something. They've been very successful with getting a couple of our veterans, on their feet, and they've got some resources that they can help out with. They provide us in our office with some food bags. One, that you can use just about anywhere. It's got some cans and things like that you can get into, pop top cans and stuff, if you need something immediate and don't have any way of heating anything. And then we've got another bag that you can use if you're just in a situation where you need something in the cabinets, and you've got ways to heat and mix stuff. So
okay.
We've got those at the office. Operation Stand Down is a great organization. So
I've heard of their
We're-
work, but I didn't know that you had an event scheduled with them yesterday, and that you had to
no,
postpone.
they were going to. We've got two ladies that are going to be on. Since we postponed our spot until next month, they'll be in next month to talk about Operation Stand Down and what all they do.
So they're going to come in on the show.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm with you. I was like, huh? You lost me there for a second. I thought, okay, did y'all cancel an event? But no, you had planned on bringing, and you and I had talked about this, and I had forgotten about that. So Operation Stand Down is going to come in on radio with us next month, and that will be on the 4th Wednesday. Hopefully we won't have any more snow. Now, who knows what we'll have in February. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, hopefully everything will be back to normal, and we'll be, so I don't know, my husband's over here mumbling things, and I can't hear him because I'm doing radio. So be quiet. Anyway, well, what else do you have for us? So remind people then you're going to be in there at 10 today. And what time are you?
10:30.
10:30. Are you going to close early or?
4:30. We'll probably close at our regular time.
Okay.
Our Facebook page, I'll put the link in the comments, but I'm trying to keep that updated so that people know when we're there and when we're not.
Remind them how to find that. What exactly the heading is?
Yeah, it's
VSO. Is it VSO or Veteran Service Office? I forget.
It's Robertson COTN Veteran Service.
Okay, because I follow it, but it's Robertson COTN Veteran Services. Robertson COTN Veteran Services. So Robertson, abbreviate county, abbreviate Tennessee, Veteran Services.
Right.
And you'll find
you don't want to go to the Robertson County, Texas site. You want to go to the Tennessee site. So
well, that's the same. We have that problem with any kind of an app that's Robertson County connected. The one with the sheriff's office. You have to be sure and put in our school app. You have to be sure and put in Robertson County, Tennessee to make sure you get to the right one. So very good.
So I'll post the link in the comments so people can just click on that. But,
okay.
But yeah, we're like I say, we're there. If you're in a dire situation, you can give us a call and we can see what we can do to help you. We've got some instant stuff at the office as far as food bags go. It's just a few of them, but if the situation needs to, we can go ahead and get that to you. So
yeah, we call those. We have them at our church because we serve the Madison area, and we have a huge benevolence program there, and we call them go bags because inevitably we end up serving some homeless folks that'll come in during church services and things like that. And so they keep go bags ready to go with just those type of things. And it's the same kind of things. We've got all these helping boxes, or I forget what they call them. They're all over town, the help box, and they've got them out by some of the churches, and that you can open them up, and they'll be like little pop-top cans of things that just with staples in it. And it's that type of thing. But right now, just the need for shelter is the big thing. It's just making sure people aren't out there that are going to, have to deal with these temps. Because these, again, we're warming up to about 35 today. I can't believe we're calling that warm, but it's cloudy. It's cloudy all day. So when the temps are in that range, we're not going to have the sun. If we could get sunshine in 35, we'd knock some ice off the trees.
That would be beautiful.
Yeah, it'd be beautiful. Yeah. But we're looking at cloud cover, and then tomorrow the high is only 27. Saturday's high is 18. And Sunday's high is 25. We're back up to 34 on Monday. And again, this is the app, and I know the apps aren't completely accurate. 36 on Tuesday. Not seeing any sunshine, though, guys. And we could get a little bit of a dusting of snow this weekend, a little bit. Yeah. And then we've got another threat of snow coming in on Wednesday. I'm just like, when are we going to get this stuff off the roads? We got 46 and partly sunny on Friday next week. But
quite frankly, if it's snow, I'm not gonna holler too much.
Right.
It's like please no more ice.
Yeah, that's the thing. No more of the ice. No more of the ice. And me personally, I want to get back to school. This little break has been nice, but I'm ready to go back to school like right now. And of course the kids are.
Me and my brother got out yesterday and got us some Jesus chicken.
You got you some Jesus chicken. Okay, you need to explain that. I don't know what you mean.
That's Chick-fil-A.
Oh, of
Chick-fil-A is
course.
Jesus chicken.
I'm
And
not a big Chick-fil-A person. Isn't that terrible? I've got to go in there and find something on the menu because I don't like that pickly tasting chicken. Okay, that's not my thing.
oh, okay.
But I'm going to have to find
But
something
yeah,
on the menu because I want to support them because I like them.
Yeah. But well, if nothing else, do their waffle fries.
That's
oh my
what Mark
gosh,
just
they're-
said. Get some waffle
There you
fries.
go.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know about that because I don't know about you, man. I'm trying to keep the weight down during this time of the year. Good.
Well, it'll be a treat.
Where?
It'll be a treat.
Yeah, I know. But yes, I love Chick-fil-A. I love Chick-fil-A. I love their whole company and everything about them.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard Jeff Foxworthy talk about growing up with what is the man's name with Chick-fil-A?
Kathy.
Yeah,
last name's
Mr. Kathy.
I think.
Mr. Kathy, and he knew him, and he talks about him. And I love this drop that Jeff Foxworthy does. He says, one time Mr. Kathy said to me, because he goes, I grew up in the area when there was only one Chick-fil-A, and it was in our neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
And so that's how well he knew Mr. Kathy. And he said, Mr. Kathy said to him one day, he says, you know how to tell if somebody needs encouragement, Jeff? And he said, no, Mr. Kathy, how? And he says, if they're breathing. And I just love that. I just think that's excellent. And I just thought that was so good. And then he has a whole bit that he does around it, but it's just so beautiful. But get you some Jesus chicken, y'all. Get on out
Jesus
there.
chicken, yeah.
I love it.
So it was great to get out of the house for a couple of, just for a couple of hours. I think it was maybe an hour and a half or two, but we took a look, downtown, and I mean the roads through town are not bad at all. You just gotta be careful in some of the parking lots. It's rough. It's rough getting in and out of places, but it's not horrible. So
well, and depending on on Monday we pulled into one business. I'm not going to call them out again, but we stepped out of the vehicle and we were like, nope. And we got back in the car because we realized that between the car and the door we could break a hip. And
you could break a hip.
Yeah, it was so funny. We went in to see. Our joint replacement specialist is Dr. Jeffrey Hodrick with Southern Joint Replacement up in Nashville. And we love him dearly. And Mark needed an appointment. And we, trying to get into these specialists and stuff, we thought maybe they'd have a cancellation. So we made an appointment cancellation. We were able to get him in to see him yesterday. And it was so funny talking to him about that kind of thing, about, being careful and all that kind of stuff. And you got to be careful on the ice. But anyway. And but we were just there and cautioned greatly by our doctor that we need to be careful on this ice because you could break a hip when you get older.
And you were being that by not going into that place because they weren't taking care of their parking lot. Yeah.
Well, honestly and truthfully, the fact that they even had it where you could pull into it was pretty ambitious because this was Monday morning. So they were being pretty good. I mean, so I don't want to call them out because they're perfectly fine now, but because it was one of our bigger stores. It was not Walmart, but it was one of our bigger stores. So but,
they were trying.
Yeah, they were trying. It was Lowe's, but I'll go ahead and say it. But like I said, we just decided it's a little treacherous. We may be going by there later today because we're doing we're working on the house and trying to get all the home improvement stuff done while we're locked in the house. But anyway. So, well, you got anything else that we need to talk to you about, sister, before we let you go?
If you want to give us a call, 615-382-6506.
Do it again.
That's the Veteran Service. That's the Veteran Service office here in Robertson County. 615-382-6506. And like I say, we'll be there at 10:30 to I'm guessing 4:30. We might give us a call before you come down. Always give us a call before you come down.
Well, it's like yesterday, we had a place we were going to stop at in Nashville that we had checked and it was open, but then by the time we got out of the doctor's office, they had decided to close early. And so we called them.
Right.
Like, okay, I guess we'll just have to miss you. So that's one thing. With the circumstances as it is, cut everybody some slack because, well, for one thing, a lot of businesses are not seeing a whole lot of traffic coming in. And that's this place we were going to go. They were like, well, nobody's been coming in, so we're just sitting here. So, because a lot of people just are, they're doing what they got to do and they're going home. And as they should. But anyway.
And why you don't want to be out any later than you have to.
Yeah, because it gets slick quick.
Yeah, once the sun goes down, I want to be home and tucked in. So
there you go. So one more time, tell them where you're located, what the hours are going to be today, and your phone number twice. One more time, sister.
We'll be there from 10:30 to 4:30 at the moment. We are located right behind the Robertson County Government Building on Brown Street. We're just up the hill from them, right across the street. And our phone number is 615-382-6506, 615-382-6506.
Okay, very good. Well, if you need anything, let us know, sister.
We will certainly do that. Y'all stay safe and warm.
All right, thank you. Gwen Harder, she is with our Veterans Service Office here in Robertson County. And as she said, next month they're going to have the group from Stand Down that will be coming in to talk about those kinds of services and things like that they have here, and just available to all of our veterans. And we have a veteran in our family, and it's very nice when you have a great veteran service office. But if you don't, and you need to get in touch with one, Robertson County serves outside of our county. So if you have somebody that's just really having a hard time and not really getting the help that they need, I encourage you to reach out to our Veteran Service Office and see if there's something that they can do to help the veteran in your life. But Mark, is there anything that you want to add before I get Brian Pulley on the phone?
No, nothing but smart aleck remarks.
Okay, you don't have any for me, do you? So I got to tell you this though. We went to this was so hysterical. We were at our doctor's office yesterday for our joint replacement, and we were talking about what these things weigh, and I realized that from now on these things are kind of heavy. And he was saying yours are about 7 pounds each.
8 pounds.
The stem that is 8 pounds, and he told me now yours is not a whole lot smaller than his because we're big people. And I was like, so they're at least 5 pounds. I can take 10 pounds off of my
that's why
my chart.
I keep telling the boys, I said, when I'm done, just make sure you get the titanium out of me. Hopefully the scrap value is high at the time.
Well, I'll tell you right now, next time I go in, Brittany Jepson's our primary care is Brittany Jepson. So next time I go and weigh in there, I'm going to say, take 10 pounds off because I've got all these joint replacement parts.
Titanium is heavy.
Said I could. So anyway, I think that's hysterical. But all right. So I tell you, before we go to our break, I just want to remind you of our sponsors. We checked in with Tom Fox yesterday at the UPS store. So let's go ahead and we're going to talk about them. But we're also, right after we talked to Brian Pulley with United Way, we will talk again about Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. We may even try to give them a call at some point tomorrow and just say, what do realtors do in this kind of stuff?
Like everybody else, they just hole up.
You catch up on paperwork.
Your paperwork.
I mean, you can still show houses. Well, if you can get out and get around, you can
direct
get things ready.
Direct them to the website.
Yeah, you can get things ready. But anyway, I've got Brian standing by the phone, so let's get to our ad, and then we'll get Brian on the phone from United Way just to remind you of all the services that they have. But the UPS store, opening regular hours today. They were able to get things opened they were open, I think, from 10 to 4 yesterday. Or no, from 9 to 4. They were open from 9 to 4. I had planned on getting by there because, like y'all, man, I've got some things that need to go back to Amazon. And they are your Amazon stop. If you need to drop off things and get them back, that's your stop. And they do it so efficiently. They now have the self-serve kiosks over to the left. And so I'm going to check that out today because that way, if they're tied up at the desk doing printing and checking mailboxes and shipping unusual things, I've seen some very unusual things being shipped, or making some kind of placard or big posters, anything like that. I always compare them to Chick-fil-A employees because they're so polite in there. And one day I went in and sure enough, they were printing something for Chick-fil-A. And so I thought that was hysterical. I thought, okay, you're like Chick-fil-A employees and you're taking care of Chick-fil-A. But any of your print needs, reach out to them. Lee Marie, she's always putting together these flyers for her Well in the Square, just, things like this. And she says she'll email this to them. And then she'll follow it up with a phone call. And they'll tell her about when to expect it to be finished, and then she just runs by and picks it up, and it's so convenient. But the email is store4297 at theupsstore.com. And again, that's store4297 at theupsstore.com. So they can do custom prints for you. They have a graphic artist in there that can help you. We had some lanyards that we had made for our Celebrate Recovery up at the church, up at Madison Church of Christ. And what I could do in-house at the church just wasn't quite as nice. And so I wanted to get some done a little bit, higher quality. And they did a great job, and they laid them out for me and did a great job with their graphic artist. So just all kinds of things like that you never thought about with the UPS store. They are your everything store, and they would love to see you. So they are back open to regular business hours today. Let's go through those one more time before we call Brian. And they are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 6:30 p.m., 8 a.m. until 6:30 p.m. Saturdays, they're open 9 to 5. And then Sunday, noon to 5, late enough for you to go to church and then swing by. So don't forget to do that. But that's the UPS store, our UPS store right here in Springfield. There is 513 Memorial Boulevard, 513 Memorial Boulevard. Oh, and I can't forget, too, they've got their coupon they've had on for a while. It's 20% off shredding. 20% off shredding right here at tax time when you're going through, okay, I can let these records go. I've had them long enough that, when the year turns, I forget how, I think you got to keep personal records for about 3 years or 5. I can't remember. But once that time passes, you can shred those documents. And they've got 20% off shredding right now. And when you get that coupon, hang on to it because maybe you need shredding in June and they've got a different coupon. As long as you keep the coupon, they never expire. So hang on to those things. UPS store, 513 Memorial Boulevard here in Springfield. And please let them know that U-Turn sent you. And so now we're going to get a phone call in to United Way. We're, keeping our guests at home because if you don't have to be out on these roadways, you don't need to be right now. So we are, pretty much hitting everybody up via a phone call, except Bill Jones. He came in yesterday because he lives at the top of the hill. So we're going to see if we can get Brian on the phone now. Hey, Brian.
Good morning.
How are you doing, brother?
I'm hanging in there. We're good.
Hold up with the kids. We texted each other yesterday. And how old are your children? Remind everybody.
12 and 8. My daughter is a 7th grader at IA, and my son is in 2nd grade at Coopertown.
Are they bouncing off the walls?
They're doing pretty good. They're doing good. We've gotten creative to keep them occupied, and my son has gotten outside plenty, and his best friend lives in the neighborhood.
Oh,
so
that's
he gets plenty of activity with him, and he's very active to keep him, get some energy out. But they're doing good for sure.
Well, after we were texting yesterday, this old mama is reminding all you young parents that it goes so quick, man. Don't miss it. So you're just drinking it in, aren't you?
I'm soaking it up. It's been, obviously there's this storm has caused a lot of hard times for folks with the power out and the cold and everything else, and we're doing everything we can. I know on the United Way side to help, but just having some time with my family, I'm trying to look at it that way. Obviously, we're stuck back in here. We call it the holler here near McMahon Hollow, and there's a road. As we get out of our neighborhood, you have to make a stop, and then it's a very abrupt, steep hill to get out of my neighborhood. So that has been the plight for everybody. And we had a guy stuck yesterday trying to help him get out. As the Amazon guy was out here and trying to dig it out. And they were out here. They did the City of Coopertown serviced our road yesterday. So we're hoping they salted and did some things. We're hoping that they'll help us get out soon.
Yeah. Because, you guys are, there's a lot of areas like your neighborhood that are just simply trapped. You can't get out. I was watching, there was a social media post from our Director of Emergency Management, and he was, Blake Pierce, and he was out trying to get to an older couple that Home Health was trying to get to. And so Home Health had gotten a hold of Emergency Management and said, hey, we need to get to this couple. And so they were out trying to, dig them out to where you can get to it. But some people are just absolutely trapped in and you can't get to them. So
it's been tough. Yeah. We've got a young lady in our neighborhood. She's a emergency room nurse at St. Thomas West. And so, bless her, she was out yesterday with shovel and trying to dig her out a rut at the top of that hill to be able to get to work.
Bless her heart.
We have real live heroes among us with our linemen and our emergency personnel and doctors and nurses that, it goes on for them. They don't get to do like I do. I have a computer, I have a phone, I can sit in the house and work, and they're out here helping us get our power back on and taking care of people that are sick. And it's just it's an inspiration for sure.
Let's give you're a Cumberland Connect customer, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's give them a plug here because, they were a sponsor of this program for a long time and they still sponsor the radio station. I haven't had a glitch with my Cumberland Connect. Have you? Has yours been working fine?
No, not one. And, we were one of the fortunate ones. Our power flickered a lot Sunday, but it stayed on. And my brother, as a lot of you know, is a lineman for Cumberland Electric. And then my stepfather before him, who's now retired, was a lineman. So it comes from a long line. And I know firsthand just from talking to them what type of work's being done right now, and to keep people's power on in some really dangerous cold weather. And they just we're so appreciative of those guys, and couldn't thank them enough, because it's a hard, thankless job that they have right now, and everybody's like, why that doesn't have power. I understand it's a scary situation, especially if you don't have another heat source, but I promise you they're out there working as hard as they can, and that goes for linemen across our region with NES or Mid-10 Electric and City of Springfield and all those guys that are out there right now trying to keep it going. We just appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. Absolutely. Even if you lost your power, you can plug your router in and still, have connectivity. And we've done that in the past. And so just a shout out to Cumberland Electric, Cumberland Connect, and all the work that y'all do to keep us connected. Robertson County has been blessed. I mean, I've got some friends that are still without power, but they're in the NES corridor. They're up, they're just on the edge of Robertson County, and I'm like, come on over to the to Cumberland, But no, Nashville got hit so hard. We were in Nashville yesterday.
It got obliterated.
Oh my goodness, it's just devastating. The ice damage in Nashville and then down in Franklin. I've got friends down in Pickwick that just got hammered with this ice, and so. We're as much as we're in a mess, we dodged a bullet. We really did, and
we sure did.
Yeah, we've got another dusting coming in. So, for folks that need help, has 211 been just getting covered up with calls?
211 is your first and foremost. Right. I'm glad you brought that up. So that's right now. That is the best resource that we have available. There is some other. Funds being activated as we speak. We got a message from our CEO, Erica Mitchell, last night that she is working closely with the Metro government for City of Nashville, and there's a fund that's being opened. It's going to be housed at the United Way, and so we are working with our hands-on team to assess needs. There will be a committee put together to figure out how to best distribute those funds for debris cleanup, food needs, anything related to this winter storm. They're going to be working on that. I think the mayor has a press conference today to talk about that and announce plans going forward. Hands-on is kind of you call it, they're hanging back just a little bit because they're letting the emergency workers do what they need to do, because that's number one priority right now, is particularly in that area, is to let the NES folks and the contractors they brought in and the vegetation teams to clean up the trees and all that stuff, let them do what they need to do, and then there's going to be a lot of work after that. We know that, and so they are monitoring that situation and to figure out best how to activate our volunteers. I do have a link for volunteer that I can share. This is going to be ongoing as we clean up from the storm throughout our 9-county footprint, and so I can share that under the comment section here. But that 211 right now is your best resource, just because we realize how much we're dependent on electricity to do everything we need to do here, and a lot of our infrastructure, as far as just the people, our employees, were hit directly by this in their own homes, and so we're kind of picking up the pieces a little bit ourselves and just trying to figure out the best way moving forward. But for right now, we're trying to let the emergency personnel and those essential workers do what they need to do, but 211 is your resource. And we do have a lot of our partner agencies, and one we know about well in this area, My Father's House, who has been so vital during a storm like this to keep their shelter open. And we have other warming shelters throughout our 9-county service area that have been serving and getting people warm, and some folks that have opened up their buildings as well. So I think we're just all doing the best we can right now with the situation. And it's hard when you're not mobile in some places too. Like I said, some were able to get out and they're back out in running, and then some people are still just kind of stuck, and then some people who I work with directly still don't have power, so they're still just trying to figure out their own situation. And it's just it's a tough time, but we know this. We're resilient and strong, and we will work hard to get this cleaned up and get people going again.
I love that. And United Way is just a great resource when you're just trying to say, I don't even know where to begin. That's a place to begin. And, you can just, at 211, guys, 211, we get out the number all the time.
Hit that, and that's your best bet. And that they're plugged in. Obviously some of our service area has probably been affected just because some of our partners hadn't had power as well, or they may have damage, or some of the volunteers or folks that work and provide that service don't have power or don't have a way to get there or whatever. So, because everybody's dealing with this. When something like this happens, it affects all of us in different ways. And so, but that 211 will have the most up-to-date information. And I know LaKillia, who manages our 211 service at United Way, who does an amazing job, has been working really hard to make sure we have the most up-to-date information available there.
Okay. And so, again, just to kind of reiterate, guys, Brian Pulley is with United Way here in our Middle Tennessee United Way, but right here in Robertson County, he's ours. And so he's in here every week just to kind of touch base and talk about the services, because they're the bridge builder to the nonprofits. So if you know somebody that needs some help, 211 is a great resource just to start with and say, here's the situation, here's what we're doing. And now, you mentioned this, but I want you to kind of clarify. Say I want to volunteer. Would I call 211 to start with, or do I need to go just to the United Way website?
There's a link. There's a link I have. I can share that Hands On is created that is specific to the winter storm, and so I can share that. 211 would be able to probably plug in, but I would go United Way Hands On Google. But also I have a link I can share in the comment section. Click that. But they are, like I said, and I've learned this from working with them. A lot of times, God bless, folks here in Tennessee, when something happens, old boys fire the tractors up, we get the chainsaws out, we get to work, right? And that's a beautiful thing. But in their case, especially with a storm like this, we try to give our emergency workers the right of way on this, because they need to get some work done so that we're not getting in their way. And we heard from our emergency personnel, a lot of people were getting on the roads, and it was causing more issues with the line workers getting to where they need to get people's power back on. We're also working, we have something created in our communities called VOAD, and that's just like a volunteer activation for disaster. They will be working with Hands On to figure out needs, the best needs, but right now they're kind of in a monitoring phase. And so it's just, we're trying to let the essential folks do what they need to do first, because we still have people in our communities that just don't have power right now. And right here in Robertson County, I think I read this morning just with Cumberland, because I'm a customer of theirs, they still had around 200, a little under 200 that didn't have power. And then, of course, Sumner County is in worse shape than us, it sounds like, as far as the lack of power. And then Nashville is still a whole nother beast right now. There's sections of Nashville that they're afraid might not have power for a week or two. So we're trying to be respectful, let them do what they need to do. But there will be needs, I promise you, and we'll get you plugged in. But I will share that link in the comments as soon as I hang up. You can click that link. It will be updated continuously. And so as needs arise, and we're assessing those right now. I think we know it's bad, but we don't know how bad yet. And so that will be an ongoing process to figure out the best way we can help our neighbors.
Okay, very good. And I just think, because there's so many people that want to help. People are out there with their chainsaws. So get your stuff, get your gear ready. Now's a good time to sharpen your chainsaw.
Get your gear ready. We're going to need you.
Yeah,
I promise you we're going to need you.
Yeah, get your gear ready. That's what you can do.
But we're trying to get out of the way for let the folks get the power back on. That's number one for folks, so they can get warm. And then after that, there's going to be a lot of time for cleanup, and it's going to be needed. And it's not going to be a 1 week, 2 week thing. This is going to be a long process for folks. This is a bad one, and we will do everything we can to make sure that we complete that. And then we've got something that a lot of people don't think about. I'm blessed. I'm getting paid to work from home. There's people right now that's missing work, that's going to miss paychecks, going to not be able to buy groceries. There's going to be things like that happen. So we want to make sure to get them taken care of as well, so that they can get their coverage stacked back up and get their kids fed. And kids are home right now. I don't know if you've got kids in the house, they eat you out of house and home during a snowstorm, I know. So the grocery needs are going to be a little bit more. And so it's going to be a wraparound service. But we're going to get with some good folks and assess where we can to spread our dollars to make the most impact, and then get our people in the communities to help in the best way possible.
And if you know somebody in your neighborhood, I think about some of my kiddos, and I worry about what their home situation is and if they have food in the pantry, because they count on eating at school. And
Right.
so if you know of people like that you can identify, reach out to them, reach out to United Way, reach out to whoever, sheriff's office, they've got their SOS service, sometimes that you can reach out to, but everybody, there's so many people that want to help. So do something, make a phone call. 211 is a great place to start, just to say, hey, I've got this situation. Who should I call? And
Right.
that's a good place to
And
start.
right now, if you feel like I feel a little helpless, honestly, because I'm not mobile. Just check on your neighbors, check on your friends. If you can do something right there in your neighborhood, there's people that might have need you. If you have elderly neighbors,
Yes, for
please
sure.
just check in on them, make sure they're doing okay. Even if you got power in your neighborhood, they might not be able to get out, and they may be low on resources. And if you can help the grocery store run, if you're able, for them, just right now, just check on your neighbors, check on the ones close to you, check on friends and family, make sure everybody's good. I've been trying to check in with as many people as I could, particularly the folks I know that live in remote areas. Our church is doing a great job of communicating, and if people have needs, we've got folks that'll make runs for them, because I've gotten out there. It's a little dicey even walking around out there. It's pretty icy. It's not just snow, and so I worry about folks that are a little older getting out walking around on this and hurting themselves. And so, just try to check in on those that are close that or that may need some assistance for right now. And then the wide-ranging relief will be happening very soon. But for right now, just check on the ones that are near and dear to you.
Very good. And before we wrap up our time, Brian,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
about the VITA program? Because, we're in tax season, and that's
We
one of
are.
the big things we talk about with United Way right now. So where do we stand with VITA? Do you have any information where you can give us an update on that?
I will have some. Everything's been disrupted.
Sure.
We're moving forward. VITA will be going, and so our sites obviously are kind of
You can't go
on
to
hold,
them.
just touch.
Yeah.
But I will say, go to United Way Greater Nashville VITA
Okay.
and Google that, and I can put that link in again, and it'll have the most up-to-date information we have on in-person sites throughout our 9-county footprint. So if you have friends and family that live in other communities, there's opportunities. There's also always the virtual option, and
Right.
so that will be there too. But we will have sites here in Robertson County. For sure, last year we had the library and the YMCA. I think we wanted to expand that a little bit this year and create some more opportunities for folks. But for right now, go to the United Way Greater Nashville VITA and just type that in your Google or whatever you use, and it'll have a list. There's a link you can click, and it will have a list of the most up-to-date sites with hours and information that we have at the moment. Obviously, things have been we've had a wrench thrown in things to touch for the moment, but they will. I promise you, they will press forward. And as soon as people dig out from this, we will have everything open and running. But there's also that virtual option, so do not forget
Very
that.
good. Well, that's one of the main reasons I wanted to touch on it, is because I knew you do have a virtual option, and that way people who don't need that in-person service can go ahead and maybe get that done while they've got some time.
Go ahead and
that
get
they're
started.
down.
You got your W-2s,
Yeah.
Go ahead and run it, please, please, please. It is free for anyone. Household income under $84,000. I know everybody. If you get that W-2s, a lot of folks they're ready to get that return, and that is added income for the year. But please don't spend money or go to in these predatory services. They're going to charge you an arm and a leg. This is a completely free service. I say this all the time. I tell my kids this. There's nothing free in life.
Yeah.
This is the exception. This is free.
I love it.
I promise you, there's no strings attached to this. They want to help you. These people have a passion to help folks with their taxes and help folks with their income. They're excited about it. They want to help you. If you think, "Oh, my taxes are a mess, man. I don't know what they're going to do with this." They take that as a challenge. They like that. So they're strange folks that enjoy doing taxes,
funny.
but we love them and we're appreciative of them. But I promise you, they want to help you. It's completely free, and they will try to maximize your refund, so you get every dollar that's owed coming back to you, so that you can use that for gas, groceries, pay bills, put some new tires on the car, whatever is needed. They're going to maximize that refund for you.
I love it. And I just I know there's something you can do from home. So, and I give it to my high school kids, because some of them are working, and I hear about some of their, what they're getting back. I'm like, you need to get to VITA and let them do your taxes, and for these kiddos. But I'll let you go, Brian. We still need to check in with Lee Marine. I got an ad to do, but thank you, brother.
You're
for
good.
taking
It was good
some
talking
time.
to you.
You too.
I appreciate what you do.
You too, my friend, and we'll try to get you in here on Thursday next week. We'll see what the situation
Sounds
is.
great.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Sounds
Stay
great.
safe
Thank you,
and
LaVern. God
enjoy
bless
that
you.
time with the kiddos. God bless you too, bud. That's Brian Pulley with United Way of Greater Nashville, Middle Tennessee. I forget the whole moniker that goes with that, but anyway, he's ours. He's Robertson County and born and raised here. So he's back here, but we really love what the United Way does, the bridge builder to the nonprofits. One more phone call that we need to make. We're going to call Lee Marie just to kind of get a little rundown of some of the things that she promotes. They were not able to do the Go Show yesterday because of the weather, and she is, in a place where it's really hard to get out. But before we do, my husband decided to wake up. I'm just cracking up. You're over there sleeping. I started to throw the coaster at you to wake you up. I'm like, you're on screen here.
I'm just relaxing,
you look like
enjoying
you were
it.
asleep. But anyway, let's talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. I was looking at their social medias, and Brian has put up, he says, it's a great day to stay inside and search for homes. There's so much you can do virtually. If you have an online capability, catch up on some things. And if you've been thinking, this is the big, when it comes to real estate, big 3 decisions. Okay, do you want to sell your home? Do you want to buy a home? Or maybe you want to be a realtor? Those are the 2 things we really focus on when we're talking about the real estate community, because here at the first of the year, it's when people start really contemplating things. So if you want to sell your home, now would be a great time to get it in sale shape. And, reach out to Barry and Rebecca. Their number is 615-504-7424, 615-504-7424 or 7425. But if you call them and say, okay, here's my situation. I'm thinking about selling. What can I do to make my home the best curb appeal? So when people walk in, I'm really kind of eclectic with my design taste. I tell people it's like Dr. Seuss decorating my house sometimes, because I like a lot of color and I use them all. But I'm just saying. But so if you're somebody like that, it's better to go with neutrals. You might just put some paint on the walls to get the house ready to be curb appeal ready. And so the little things that you can do while you're snowed in, while you can't get as much done as you normally do, now's the time to do that and to get them. We're doing a lot of home. We're not putting our home on the market, but if you were going to, now's a great time to do that. And you could call Barry and Rebecca, and they could give you some tips on getting your house ready. Okay, if you're wanting to buy, now's a really good time to get all your finances in order, everything that you owe, everything that you pay on, so you can see how much you qualify for. Because if you even start looking at property before you know how much home you can qualify for, you are wasting your time, guys. You got to know that number. And so you can reach out to them. Again, you can do all this on the phone. You can do it through the interwebs, or you maybe need a free market analysis on your property to see how much it's worth, to see if that's even something you want to consider. And the big one, are you wanting to take a career change? Are you wanting to be a realtor? Now's a really good time to talk to your significant other about, is this something we want to do? Is it something maybe you want to do? I've always thought you'd be a good realtor, but I don't know if I could do it. Barry's one of these, he says he might talk you out of it, because he says it's not necessarily for everybody. So whatever it is you're wanting to do, those are the big 3. Are you wanting to buy? You wanting to sell? Or maybe you want to be a realtor? Consider those things while you're snowed in, and give Barry and Rebecca Richards a call. You can Google them and find out everything you need to know about them. They have separate websites, separate social medias, because he's the broker here in town. She is the agent up in White House, and together they have Exit Prime Realty. But he's not her broker. She has a broker in her White House office that happens to still be able to broker deals in Kentucky, and that's something you have to remember, because of the state law changes. Not everybody can, but theirs is grandfathered in up in White House, and they can still broker deals in Kentucky. So they specialize in Robertson County properties because they're Robertson Countyans, but they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky, because like me, they're originally from Kentucky. So if you want to know more, reach out to Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty, and please let them know that U-Turn sent you. And the last couple of minutes of the show, we are going to give Lee Marie a call, and we're going to see what she has for us. So Lee Marie, stand by. We're getting you on the phone right now, and we are just a couple of minutes still left, but we've got time to check in with Lee Marie and some of the things she has on her mind. And if we go a little bit over, I don't think you'll get mad at us, but I don't think so. Lee Marie, you there? Hello, Lee Marie. Lee. Hello, Lee Marie.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yay, there we go. I got you.
Okay.
I said we got a couple of minutes left, but I think even if we go over a little bit, I don't think ILU's going to get too mad at us. So,
all right.
What you
first
got?
up, I want to thank you and Mark for braving the roads and coming in and doing all the shows this week. They were so helpful.
Thank you. We've loved it. Gets us out of the house. So anyway, but thank you, sweetheart. Thank you.
All right. So I know I didn't get to do the Go Show this week, but if people go to the Lee Marie Facebook page, there are some Valentine-related events coming up that I wanted to make everybody aware of. So I just found this last night. Springfield Antique Barn is doing a fundraiser for Casa and Isaiah 117 House.
Really?
And what this is Saturday, February 14th, Valentine's night, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Ticket sales and 10% of all sales will go to both of those charities. Now, the tickets for the event are only $5.
Okay.
They're going to have door prizes, live music, beverages, and then they'll have, some things you can buy, like photo booths, and some of the vendors are going to be doing special sales, and they'll have a dessert table you can buy things at. So just a great way to support some great charities and also have a great Valentine night.
I love that because I love that place. I love going into the Antique Barn. It is so cool. But anyway, keep going.
Yeah. All right. And so then also, of course, Well in the Square is doing a Sweetheart Sock Hop. So you can bring your mom or your dad or your husband or your wife or, whoever you want to bring, or just make new friends when you get there. It's going to be Friday, February 13th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We're going to do, of course, a little swing dancing, some jive, some, hand jive, the twist. So it's only $10 pre-sale, $15 at the door. So that is Friday the 13th.
Okay.
And then the third thing I wanted to make sure everybody knows about is Cupid Crawl. This is a free event in downtown Springfield. It is Saturday, February 7th. It's all day, basically. But you pick up a bingo card at any of the vendors, and I believe there's 21 21 organizations who are participating. And so you can get a bingo card at any of those places. The bingo card will also say what time you can visit those stores that day to get your bingo card stamped. And then you turn it in for prizes. So they did this at Christmas time. It was a big hit. And so they're going to do it again for Valentine's. And so this is, again, Saturday, February 7th, all day long.
Okay.
Now, the Well in the Square, we're only going to be there from 12 to 2 because there's a whole bunch of other things going on that day. There's the 5K run for Gina Headkeeper's son, and there's a lot of different things going on that day. But I know the Wellness Square will be there from 12 to 2, stamping bingo cards. So we hope that you guys will check out the downtown area. It's really coming alive now that we got that theater coming.
I know. I'm so excited about the theater. Oh my goodness, it's going to be so cool. It's going to be so cool. Hey, mention too about the rescheduling of the Cedar Hill men's dinner.
Yes, the Wild Game dinner for the men was supposed to be this Friday, but because of the roads and everything, they are postponing it 1 week.
Okay, so it'll be next Friday.
Yes,
okay,
next Friday at Cedar Hill Baptist, and it's always a huge hit. They pack it out, and some people, I hear some guys say, well, I don't like Wild Game. Well, you know what, it's okay. They have other stuff other than Wild Game, but, it's a great time for the guys. They always have a wonderful, inspirational and educational speaker that the guys always enjoy. So I highly encourage y'all going out to that.
Very good. All right. Anything else before we wrap it up, sis?
The library is supposed to be open today, so I know the schools are closed. The senior center is closed. So you might want to call the library because that could be a good place to hang out. Just go to the Lee Marie Facebook page also because I did post a lot of other things that are coming, like Coffee with a Cop is coming February 5th. There's going to be a bingo fundraiser at the American Legion on Saturday, February 7th. There's just so much going on. So make sure you scroll my page.
Very good. All right. Lee Marie, my sweet friend with the Go Show, and hopefully the Go Show will be back Wednesday next week. We should be back to schedule. We'll get everybody back to normal. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Lee Marie. I'm going to let you go, sweetheart.
All right, God bless.
God bless you too. And that's it for us. We're a little bit over time, but there's just so much to cover. Thank you for joining us. Tomorrow is Faith Friday, and it's going to be me and my guy here talking about some of the faith issues that are important to us. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow. And I mean, we may make a few phone calls, get some more updates, things like that. Whatever we need to do, we'll take care of it tomorrow. But I hope you'll be a part of it. And stay safe out there, please. If you don't have to be on the roads and your neighborhood is just really ice covered, don't chance it, because don't become one of the problems that our emergency crews have to deal with. Stay safe, and if you need help, 211 is a great number to call to get a contact for resources, and reach out to your neighbors, man. Let them know. I've had so many friends tell me, I don't like to ask for help, but I've had to ask for help. Get on social media and just say, hey, this is where I am, and this is what I need. I need some help. I don't have food in the house for my kiddos. I can't get out. If you put it out on social media, they will come. And so I just hope you'll do that. God bless you all. Have a safe day, and we'll talk with you tomorrow. This is 1100 WSGI.
My tribe.